Welcome, everyone, to a Missouri Valley Conference chat. I'm Andy Katz. Pleased to be joined by Northern Iowa's Ben Jacobson. 5-1 now in the Valley, 9-7 overall, but 5-1 in the Valley. You've won 5 in a row. What has been the biggest difference?
Yeah, we got when we got back from Hawaii, our defense got quite a bit better. Some of the things were, fundamentally we weren't guarding the ball well enough. Our rotations weren't on time. Our positioning wasn't. We weren't where we needed to be before we needed to be there. Like, everything that you're working on in September and October and early November and building your defense, like we weren't there. That's been most of it. Maybe the number one thing is that we've just been more aggressive in terms of guarding the basketball. Just trying to dictate some things a little bit more with our defense, and then I would say on the other side of the ball, our pace has been pretty good. We've gotten the ball into transition a little bit more. Our ball movement's been a little better, and then our decision making. We felt like in the games we played in Hawaii against Liberty and against Wyoming that we took too many quick shots. Yeah, and we didn't recognize time and flow and in terms of the game itself. Liberty went on a pretty good run in the first half, and we came down and fired up a three. They went down, scored again. Now they're on an 8-0 run. We come down, take a quick shot. Now they go score again. It's a 10-0 run. So just, growing and learning offensively to understand the flow of the game a little bit. But and then, like I said, Andy, our defense has gotten a little bit better.
So obviously the way that tournament ended obviously did not go well because of COVID. There was no championship game between Stanford and Vandy. You guys weren't able to play Hawaii. How hard was it to go from that to get some rhythm here over the holidays before you got going here in early January?
Yeah, so we didn't get the Hawaii game, as you mentioned. And then when we got back, we were scheduled to play a non-Division I game. And that one ended up getting canceled because of COVID with the program that we were going to play. So we missed on those back-to-back games. And, in some ways it might have helped us a little bit because we needed to continue to get healthier. This is the healthiest that we have been. And coming out of Trey Burhow didn't go to Hawaii, non-COVID illness. One of our assistant coaches didn't go to Hawaii, same non-COVID illness. When we were there, 2 of our regulars were sick. So it almost, not playing the game against Hawaii and then having the game canceled a couple of days later, it probably helped us a little bit just because that allowed our team to get a little bit healthier. And now this is to the consistency part of it. This is the healthiest we've been all year. We've got everybody at practice, and that's helped us, find a little bit of rhythm. And we're not there yet, of course, but it certainly helped.
Where is AJ Green in terms of now versus what he was before the injury?
Yeah, he maybe a little similar to our team, as I just touched on, working to find some consistency with our entire group. He's had some monster games this year. The game at St. Bonaventure, I think a lot of people nationally at least saw the score and then saw that he had somewhere in the mid-30s, but he got 17 points in like 2.5 minutes at the end of the first half. Something that just doesn't happen, right? And he's had other games like that. He's had probably 5-6 games where he has had 25 to mid-30s. A lot of what he was doing when he was a sophomore on that championship team. And so he's done it, but I know what he is talked some about is just the consistency, just getting himself all the way back to where he feels pretty good every night. And now he's healthy. His hips feel good. His health is good, but just trying to find that consistency.
So there's no secret. Loyola Chicago is the favorite, top 25 team. No. You don't play them until mid to late February 13th at Loyola, February 26th to end the season. So you want to be in position. You know how this works. You want to be in the top 2 to be right there, top 2 seed. And then if they're a team that can get in by themselves, great. But then if you can be in position, win the tournament, you're in with them. What do you guys have to do to make sure you finish in that top 2, maybe at most top 3, to be in position to so you wouldn't have to play them, until the final, but really put yourselves in position to get that bid?
Yeah, I guess, a couple things that come to mind. Missouri State and Drake are both really good teams as well, and they're older teams, right? And we've got some other teams in our league that I feel like are good teams, right? And by the time we get done, could have themselves certainly in position. So Loyola, as you said, they're until somebody beats them, right? They're the favorite, and they've earned that spot. But Drake's really good. Missouri State's really good. For us, it's a little bit where we started. Like we have to get better defensively, and I know that's something that I think we will. I think we'll continue to get better at that end of the floor. And then the other piece that we don't have control over is Austin Fife is dealing with long haul COVID, and so he hasn't been healthy all year. He's been able to play. Some nights he plays more than other nights. He's had to sit a couple games in a row. Some days he practices more than other practices. If that gets better and he's able to get back to not even where he was as a first team all conference guy when he was a sophomore 2 years ago, he's one of the best 5 guys in the league. If he just gets to the point where he feels good every day at practice and he can play 18 to 22 minutes, we don't need him 28 to 32, but if we had him 18 to 22 every night, and that gives us another piece to deal with what, the 3, 4, 5 best teams in the league, as you're coming down the stretch. So we got to be better defensively. And then we just got to see what happens with Fife.
So to that point, I just want to end this here, that I think you can add a, interesting perspective, especially now at this point in the pandemic. Omicron, it's mild. They're young athletes. Every single person is different.
Yeah.
You don't want to get it. And if you get it, it's sort of Russian roulette. Is it going to affect you? Is it not going to affect you? You're seeing firsthand. What would you say to people that, kind of question, they're young athletes, they're going to be affected by it? You've got firsthand experience here watching one of your players.
Yeah. And that's, it seems like we're all seeing the same thing. The majority of young athletes are fine. Right. But you're correct. And we are dealing with it every day. And when it does hit somebody the wrong way, when their system doesn't deal with it the way the majority of young people, their systems do, man, I tell you what, it is a tremendous challenge, because now it is outside of your control in terms of being able to, just, get on the bike and work and, practice and get yourself back in shape. That's not it. Like when you get the what they've termed the long haul COVID and the situation that Austin Fife is in, there's not an easy out. There's not a, hey, just do this. So, and then you're seeing a young guy who is doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. And now you are not just talking about being able to practice, being able to play. Now, as the pandemic, I think, is shown in so many different ways, the frustration, the feeling of, is this going to get better? So now you're starting to deal with not the physical part of it, but now you're dealing with the mental part of it. And that's a lot, for a young guy, for somebody who's doing all the stuff they're supposed to be doing, and it's just not getting better. So we are dealing with it. And so I'm in agreement, with everybody that, the majority of young people, no problem. Right. But we still need to do everything we can from a health and safety and a protocol so that there isn't another Austin Fife situation out there, right? Maybe a couple of these get avoided because people are doing everything they can to make things as good as possible.
Well, Jake, I appreciate it. I wish the best for Austin as well, and you and your team. Obviously, hopefully everyone stays healthy. You guys are off to a great start here in the Valley. Hope it continues. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.